Learn from India and Pakistan and break up. Former president drops message for agitators. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has issued a warning to agitators about the country's impending breakup. For agitators, the former president offers the breakup of India and Pakistan as an example of what could happen to Nigeria if the country splits. In a summary of the former president's illustration of India and Pakistan breaking up, he claimed that despite their breakup, India and Pakistan are still at war with each other today, while reminding agitators that if Nigeria should break apart, they will still be neighbors. The former president also added that would be better and less disastrous for Nigeria to stick together as one nation rather than splitting apart and tearing each other through civil war. Speaking further, the former president also tells agitators not to be selfish but think of the small tribes in Nigeria who would not benefit from the split up. It's just a bit dodgy coming from an ex-president who has benefited a lot from the country, if you know what I mean. Okay, now, for argument's sake, I understand there are arguments that are valid for breaking up and very much likewise for staying together, which is absolutely fine. The fact remains right now is that the choice should not be taken from anybody. You make that choice. If Nigerians want that to happen, or disintegration, or to stay together, it is their choice and they will bear the consequences of that choice either way. So again, India and Pakistan, okay, fine, but we're not them though. We are not them. Yes, it is for argument's sake, he used them as an illustration for what could happen to Nigeria if we split up. But the thing is, if we come down to the core of why Nigerians are frustrated, it is due to bad governance and leadership. The fact is that we do not have a system of accountability. We push mediocrity so much. The standards are very, very low to be a president. I mean, look who is there right now. So again, it's just like, okay, fine, but we're not India and Pakistan though, and it's just like for us, and our situation is peculiar to us. In the same way, we're gonna be like, you know what? If we split up, we are still going to be good with each other. Like, I don't think there's a thing. And I think that the government itself has been a tool for division itself. So again, why should we then trust the same government that wants to push division and use them as the same government that would lead us to unity? It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's very, very clear that Buhari is a Fulanist or something. I don't know how to even say it. He's very much for Fulani's Hausa tribe only, which is very nice, which is very good, but him being president requires that he's Nigerianist, that he's properly for Nigeria and Nigerians only, equally. So again, that's just it. I think that, to be honest, it's become an ethnic war, an ethnic clash because of the government. And also, you can also argue that the ethnic clash or whatever is more of it was meant to happen. Like, it was going to happen sooner or later because our foundation is not necessarily really rooted in our identities as much, because we were colonized, and the only thing that sort of brought us together was because of the Lugard's, of course, amalgamation, as well as the fact that our common value at the time was to be independent, and that was it. So again, I don't think we've had any recent experience of self-determination in a very long time where we are okay enough to be sure of our identities to then want to cohabit with each other or be one country. Because Nigeria is just too diverse, in which, yes, you can say it has benefits, but So the fact is, there are arguments for both sides, and in which both are very much valid. But then using India and Pakistan as a situation, I mean, to be honest, I don't even know much or the very great detail of how the split up went. But let's just focus on what we have. And I think one point that he also made, in which you can actually be objective about, is the smaller tribes that may not really benefit from the split up. I mean, Nigeria has a lot of tribes, and they are over over 500 languages, I can say for sure. I think there are about 900 languages. So we are incredibly diverse. I think colonialism has also helped in the confusion, because again, it's like, how do we know who's part of who? If you talk about the Fulanese, they are across West Africa in terms of in terms of genetic makeup, because obviously they spread across breeding with other tribes, and of course, it can be clear that you are Fulani from your phenotype, or just you're just Fulani because it's in your blood group or whatever. Is your genetic makeup, and that's just fine. So again, I think colonialism, I mean, we're colonized, and then people now, white people then drew lines and now said this is this country, and then named us the country. The absolute audacity and identity crisis. I mean, what is that? What is that? So again, a lot of things, there are deep-rooted issues as to what Nigeria is facing currently, but then I think that using the present situation to sort of solve it would not necessarily give us a holistic view as to how we got here, and that may not really help us in trying to solve the problem if that is the case. So yeah, that's just really what it is. It's really what it is. Let's look at the comment section. Somebody says, Baba, the thing do not bad past that. Oh, it's not as bad as that. Don't worry. We will break it into 6 countries. Oh gosh. And then it will become operation. Follow your choice. I mean, to be honest, the main thing really is corruption in the country. It really is. Honestly, I think that when there's division, obviously it's easier to control and instill fear in the people. But I think at the core of the problem, it's really corruption, and we're not living right. Okay, before we get to the point of self-determination, self-actualization, and esteem and all that, we need to sort out other things in place. First of all, being our physiological needs like sleep, water, shelter, and all that, and then our safety. We have not gotten that yet. So again, looking at self-determination and esteem and that's okay, when you've, as Nigerians would say, when you have belly full and you're content, but we haven't gotten there yet. So when it comes to the core of corruption and people living, and the standard of living is so bad, that is what we should tackle. We have the resources, and to be honest, even economically we are stronger together. But then again, you can also argue that, okay, fine, when we say we are stronger together, do you just mean the South alone? But the North, to an extent, they do bring something to the table. So yeah, I mean, that is it, to be honest. Somebody says, this man needs to shut up, go and rest. No war will be in Yoruba land. I mean, again, it's a choice that we have to make. And whatever choice to make, we will face the consequences. And that is what it is. That is what it is. There are going to be resistance. There's going to be a lot of resistance to what you want to achieve. At the end of the day, you have to be headstrong and be less distracted. That is what it is. But then again, being objective, they are very much, equal, equal points or equal values, or, what I'm trying to say is that for both sides of the argument, for succession or no succession, both points or both arguments are very much valid, and it's a choice you have to make. People, I think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.